Thank you. Welcome to Silver Creek Elementary School. And today for our regularly scheduled board meeting. Today is the 28th of May. At this time, if we could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the invocation. Am I hot, Alex? All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Heavenly Father, we just give you thanks for another wonderful school year here at Silver Creek. We're so thankful for our students, our staff, families, and our community, and everything that makes SCSC a wonderful place to be. We ask for your wisdom as we continue to make vital decisions and to help move SCSC forward and in the best interest of our students. We pray for our students and staff that they have a fun and relaxing summer break. We know that many families will travel during this time. We ask that you'll watch over and keep them safe with their travels. And please continue to send your blessings our way. In Jesus' name, amen.
All right, we have roll call. Mr. Basham.
Here.
Miss Bright.
Here.
Miss Franklin. Here. Mr. Groen is currently absent, scheduled to be here late. He's attending his daughter's 8th grade graduation. And I am also here. We do have quorum. Dr. Briggs, any emergency additions and revisions to the agenda?
Yes, good evening, everyone. I do have some recommendations for the agenda. We will start under number 7, consent agenda, under letter C, personnel, under number 1, certified appointments. Recommend to add letter I, Christine Lawrence, 3rd grade teacher, position control number 30014, effective July 23rd, 2024. Moving on, also under consent agenda, under number 2, classified, under number 1, appointments, recommendation to add letters I, J, and K. Letter I is Roxanne Whitlock, summer school bus driver, Silver Creek Elementary School, effective June 3rd to June 14th, 2024. Letter J is Kim Nevins, summer school bus driver, Silver Creek High School, effective June 3rd to June 28th, 2024. And letter K is Penny Conlon, summer school bus driver, Silver Creek High School, effective June 3rd to June 28th, 2024. And the final recommendation revision to the agenda would be under number 9, discussion action items. Under number 2, action items. Recommend that we take what is listed there for number 6, resolution transferring certain properties with a governmental unit, moving number 6 to number 7, and then replacing number 6 with a new number 6, and that would be stated Growing Minds Second Amendment to the Lease Agreement. So number 6 becomes number 7, and number 6 is now the Growing Minds Second Amendment to the Lease Agreement. And that is it for revisions to the agenda.
Hearing Dr. Briggs's recommended revisions to the agenda, do we have a motion to bring that to the floor?
I so move.
Ms. Bright makes a motion. Do we have a second?
I second.
Oh, I'm sorry. Christy, you first. Oh, my fault. All right. Ms. Franklin makes a motion. Do we have a second?
I second.
Ms. Bright makes any discussion needed? Hearing none, all of those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries 4-0. Next up, under number 3 is the approval of minutes from the May 14th regular school board meeting. Do we have a motion to bring that to the floor?
So move.
Mr. Basham makes a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Franklin seconds. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries 4-0. First up in our presentation and recognitions, Ms. Myers, you have your robotics team here. All right.
They're going to use their mat back here, or just the floor.
Mrs. Feldman and Mrs. Walter, one up here. All right, so thank you guys and welcome. I'm so excited to be here and share some information with you. This is our robotics teams. We had 4 teams at Silver Creek Elementary, and we are really excited about everything they accomplished. So we had 16 students. 4 of these students had 1 year of experience. So the other 12 were brand new to robotics this year, built their robot, put it all together, and competed in 3 different competitions this spring. So they did a great job. So I am going to let them introduce themselves, and then I'll tell you more about their where they were and how they went for state competition. Say which team you were on and your name.
My name is Bennett Hardy. I was on the robotics Silver Creek team, and we were on the ankle biter bots team.
My name is Caden Lewis, and I was also on the ankle biter bots.
My name is Jackson, and I was on the ankle biter bots.
My name is Avery, and I was on the Dreambots.
My name is Della, and I was also on the Dreambot.
My name is Caroline, and I also as well was on the Dreambots.
My name is Amory, and I was also on the Dreambots.
I'm Cameron. I was on Team Shrek.
My name is Leah Mackey, and I was on the Spider Bots.
Wyatt Feldman, and I was on Spider Bots. What? Why is everyone laughing?
My name's Noah, and I was on Shrek, Team Shrek.
My name is Chase, and I was on Team Shrek.
So a little bit about the kiddos. So our Dreambots team was our girls there in the middle. They went to state and they ranked 50th out of 1,000 and about 80 different teams that competed. So they got second place in the skills award and got to compete at state. We also have our ankle biter bots, and they were ranked 87th in state. They got second place in the teamwork award and qualified for the championship. Then we have our spider bots, and the spider bots ranked 124th. And our 2 other teams that didn't go to state, they missed the state competition by 5 points. So they were so close to doing that. And remember, this is most of their first year with robotics. So we were really impressed with them. 6th place in their teamwork award. And then we have Team Shrek, who ranked 94th, again, missing that state by 5 points. And they placed 6th in the teamwork award. So they all did such a great job. They have their robots here that they built from scratch. And the field is back behind on the floor, back behind the board. And this is where they practice and built their magic. So great job to all these kids. We were very impressed with all their work. So great job. And a special thank you.
Just real quick before we continue on, I just want to, there's a parent here. Her name is Megan Bush. She's actually a parent to one of the children up here, but this is what makes Silver Creek so great, is that people in our community consistently step up and do things for our kids. And it's really just a vision of them saying, hey, maybe my child has an interest in this, and what can I do to help? And Megan took this upon herself to develop this club. She reached out and she got resources of support from the community, and that turned into getting a grant, what we've had mentioned here at board meetings before, that were in the tune of almost $40,000. And so by her simply stepping up as a community member and a parent, she has sparked the minds of all of our students here, K through 12, in a STEM program. So kudos to you, Megan. Appreciate your hard work. And If anybody's going to go to Purdue and be an engineer, I'm all for it. Okay?
Sure, yeah. Mhm. Yes. Or, stay up there, guys, stay up there. Yeah, Megan.
Yeah, get friendly, please. That's gotta really get the stack up a little bit. Folks on the end, you come down here. There you go. Yeah. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right, cool. Thank you, folks.
Hey, Chad.
Sandy.
Ms. Myers, you have another recognition and presentation? We have some famous people with us now.
Oh, yeah.
Also, we want to celebrate and recognize a couple of our teachers who are now published authors. So if Mrs. Andrea Anderson and Mrs. Stacy Balmer could please join me up here. So Mrs. Anderson had this idea to write a book, and so she had this book published. It's called Rosebuds, and it's about the Kentucky Derby and two little flowers that made it to the garland for the Kentucky Derby, kind of teaching some history and things through the Kentucky Derby, as well as friendship and kindness and things like that. And so then she called upon her friend and fellow colleague, Mrs. Balmer, who is our art teacher here at the elementary, and said, "Hey, I've got this idea for a book. I really would like to have an illustrator. Could you do something for me?" And so then Stacy put that together, and they are now published authors, and you can purchase this book on Amazon, Rosebuds by Andrea Anderson. You guys want to say anything? You're good.
I declined at first, just to put that out there, and she was very persistent. So I'm glad that she was persistent and you have a friend like that that pushes you to do something, because I probably wouldn't have ended up doing it because we're always so busy. We don't have enough time to do things. So she was persistent with me, and that. Or bullying, either way, whatever.
Thank you, guys. Thank you both for doing it.
If you are part of the STEM kids, don't feel like you have to stay for the whole meeting. It's a nice night. You probably want to go home and spend it with your families. You're not going to offend us at all. We understand your part's over. We definitely appreciate you guys being here.
Mr. Poole, facilities update?
All that, Mr. Poole.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kyle Poole. I'm the Facilities Director for Silver Creek School Corporation. Going into my second year here as a Facilities Director, this year has definitely been one of a challenging for the facilities team. Along with the difficulties that construction brings, the buildings we serve are aging, and so are the components within them. But something that Gibraltar has spoken in previous meetings about is the maintenance and custodial staff within our district work tirelessly to make those components last as long as possible. This year, we've dealt with issues ranging from aging pipes, hydronic system problems, electrical components failing, and plumbing issues. In total, my team manages roughly 450,000 square feet each day, cleaning most of that space nightly. First off, I'd like to highlight some of the new additions to that team. This year, we added 4 new staff members to our facilities team. At the middle school, we've added Brandy Marquez and Angela Foster, who have just completed their first complete year with the Silver Creek team. We are pleased that Angela Foster has accepted into moving into a second shift position or a split shift on between first and second shift that she'll be taking over next spring after the summer. At the elementary school this year, we've added Amy Phibbs and Zandal Hoskins to our custodial team. And as we get ready for the summer turnover, we begin at the end of this week. We are excited to get back to know these staff more, as our summer work involves more teamwork than during the school year. Next year, with the completion of the new high school addition and renovation, we look forward to adding to our high school team to manage the growth of the school. And I'd like to say thank you to the custodial and maintenance team for their continued hard work and dedication to their schools, especially in this time of growth and transition. Some updates we've done throughout the school year, including, but not limited to, the upgrade to the LED panel lighting to replace the 2x4 halogen fixtures in all of the primary, elementary, and the middle school. That is something that we completed last spring into the fall throughout the summer. And we're working with Duke Energy to get a proper reading of how those LED lights have impacted our overall usage and becoming more green throughout the school district. This year, we also tested out a new high bay LED fixture in half of the middle school gym. We've seen a huge improvement in playability in the court, as well as giving a more modern and updated look to the gymnasium. In the 24-25 school year, we look to finish updating the rest of the fixtures in the middle school gym, as well as here at the elementary school. To finish out our LED upgrades for the year, our very own Ed Spencer and Steve Doyle worked to transition our last parking lot lights out around the middle school and the back of the elementary school to match the LED fixtures around the rest of the district. This has had a positive impact on creating a safer parking lot for our teachers to traverse throughout the mornings, as well as good lighting for parent drop-off during the colder months. As many could probably see driving down 31 this spring, we updated the elementary school playground with the help of Ashley Compton and the building's principal, Sandy Myers. We look forward to our next transition this summer, where we'll actually be including a new walking path adjacent to the new playground and a green space. This year, we also changed our land care contract to transfer our landscaping around the school back to in-house. Many people, and I don't know if anybody has or hasn't seen it, but at some point there was a video of our new landscaper, Jimmy Stewart, dancing as he was doing landscaping around the front of the elementary school. So we're happy to say that he loves his job and he's doing a great job at it. With the help of Jimmy Stewart, we've created a plan to better manage our landscaping that actually sticks to a standard that the district can be proud of. I'm happy to say that we've also received some positive feedback from the buildings as well as we've started this transition. Inside the buildings this year, we have added new lockers along the first floor north hallway in the middle school with help and coordination with Christy Nunn and Shelley Spalding. We have more updates coming during our summer turnover that include a gym stage curtain and new flooring in classrooms and staff work areas. In the primary and elementary school buildings, we've begun a transition of carpeted hallways to LVT in most of our main hallways. This is for easier cleaning and better look in our high traffic areas. We've also seen that this gives an updated look to the buildings as well. For future projects this summer and going into the 24-25 school year, we look to update the window film protection that we recently did here at the elementary school and match at the primary school. This also comes with some UV protection benefits for students and teachers. And we also have some HVC updates that we've been working through with our service company. I've also started speaking with staff training and development teams to create a standardized staff training to better equip our custodians moving forward. That's all I've got for you tonight. Any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Poole.
Thank you so much.
All right, next up, we have Shireman Construction here for construction update. Are they on the screen?
I'm Jeff Shireman, Shireman Construction Management. Here with me tonight's Les Smith and my dad, Mark Shireman. Going to try to go through this quick. Dr. Willman told me he's got a big softball game to get to, so I'm going to try to move a little quicker this time. So kind of going through, so we had a really nice tour today with a lot of the staff members today, but these pictures are only a day or two old for those of you who aren't able to be there. So these should give you a pretty good idea of what's going on inside the building. So looking at the front addition, which you're all seeing every day from the front, the metal siding is arriving this week. So we are looking forward to some of that going on. It's a multicolored product. And in the front, it's a little dark, but the windows are starting to go in, so you can see kind of the window panes are going in throughout the building. We're doing pretty well out in the front of the building. Soon the roof is on. Soon you'll see these metal panels. It's a 3-color, kind of a light blue, dark blue, silver kind of a look. It'll really look pretty sharp through there. Okay, looking on the back side of the building, the football track concessions is now open. Now the siding isn't on yet because it's not there. So that's at the bottom of the screen. So the building in the foreground closest to us is the Ox Gym, and that little bump out down there at the bottom is the football concessions building. It's up and running. And then if you see the white roof, that is the front addition of the building. So out towards 31. So the white roof, that part. So the back side of that now has the metal siding on it for the exterior of the building. Softball, baseball concessions is substantially complete. We have a little bit of concrete repair out front of there. There's some cracking we have to take care of, and there's a pump that needs flipped out. But it's substantially complete, and it has been being used for baseball, softball season. So the big project we kicked off inside the building, we've been working with Mr. Dablow a lot. He's really helped us get some locker rooms ahead of schedule. We appreciate it. This is the west locker room, the main gym, which is the future boys locker room. It's been tore out the last couple weeks, and we're getting ready to do a few structural repairs in there and start our underground rough in. On the east side, which we got about a month ago, it's already gotten the slab poured back. We've got the stud walls up, all the plumbing in the walls, and they've started drywall in there this week. That's the future girls' restroom. So we're hoping to have that done towards the end of summer so that could be occupied. The new kitchen, which used to be the old GPR room, is going well. We've got a lot of equipment already set up in there. And then the serving line adjacent to it, you can see the nice tile works done in the background, right? The cabinetry in the front. So that's going to be a really kind of a showstopper type place. It's very pretty in there once we get all that stuff uncrated and put away. The new student union in the front addition is proceeding well. This is kind of looking, if you're walking from the cafeteria back towards the east. So that's a view of it. On the left side, you see ceramic tile. On the right side, kind of an up close view on the right side there. There's your new student bank window that's going to be there, and it has a really neat tile. So all the staff kind of toured through the building today, and they're all rubbing on it because it has a really neat texture to that tile. So it's kind of a fun thing. So and to the right of that, down the hall there, of course, is the store. So they've got the kind of the conference room for the business. The bank's on the left, the store's on the right. So it'll all kind of go back into the student unit. It'll really be a neat thing for those kids to be able to serve their other kids. The main entry of the building is kind of, here's the status of it. This is a 2-story vaulted entry. This is looking out back towards 31. It's underway, working pretty well. It's going well in there. Main corridor, second floor. Okay, so you see acoustical ceiling grids are in. We're starting to get the window panes in on the interior of the building, as you can kind of see in the background and on the right side. And then in the background, you can kind of see at the dark wall, those are those accent colors. It's like a navy blue type color, so it's going to be pretty sharp. Here's an example of one of the double classrooms. They have them on the first and second floor. On the right side of the screen, the brown color, that's the accordion wall. It's still got the cardboard surround to protect it from us construction guys so we don't tear it up before you even get to use it. But, this is one of the double classrooms. You can see the window panes are in, facing the exterior. The interior window panes are on the right side, and we're just completed our above ceiling inspections in there. So we're about ready to start dropping ceramic tiles in there after we got a punch list ran last week on all that area above the ceiling. So most of the corridors have these water fountain stations, so it has a really nice tile surround in there. So that's kind of an example of those in the new building. Now that obviously needs to get cleaned up and grouted out and all that. But Mechanical rooms are proceeding well. I mean, this was a gigantic room about 2 weeks ago, and now it's all crowded with all this giant equipment in there. So it's plugging along well. That's the big one down the mechanical mezzanine, the second floor. Also, the second floor, here's kind of a view as these windows go in, the drywallers come back behind and they start boxing out around all these windows. So that work's proceeding. Women's restroom, this was a dark photo. Left side, it's got a giant ceramic tile work. It's really neat mosaics in there, and you'll be able to see it a lot better in person. Still got to get our toilet partitions in this restroom. It's kind of been the bane of the project, getting our toilet partitions on time from the supplier, but those will all be ready for you in October. So front addition, we've been doing a lot of concrete work along that really wide sidewalk, kind of the loading area along the front of the building. That's the main front entry steps. So at the top of those steps, if you want to talk to Dr. Balmer, that's where his big brick logo, the SC logo goes. It's on Facebook. So if anybody wants a brick, those are available on the website, right? So it goes right there. So let's flip over to the auditorium project. So here's a view of it from the north. It's been plugging along quite well. You can kind of see our insulation for the roof. It's being stacked over the band room. The band room's on the left. The main entrance is in the center. And then on the right is the auditorium on that picture. So kind of going around the building. This Friday, we had a major milestone on the project. The concrete roof deck got poured on the auditorium. So some of you may have seen the giant pumper truck out there. So it's now done, and now we're ready to roof the project. So which was a big milestone for us. Kind of from the back side, some folks have keep asking, y'all know you got a big hole in the back of the building, right? So that's because we have to come inside the auditorium, and actually this floor gets dug out at the end of the project because there's like a 3.5-foot pit bowl for all the auditorium seating, like you'd see in a theater kind of thing. So we wanted to make sure we got a roof on it. We got this thing dried out before we started, making the world's biggest mud pond or whatever. So also the stage walls are up and it's going around. We've got about a month left of masonry on the project, and then we'll be rolling over into digging out that and pouring all the concrete for the big bowl. On the north side of the auditorium, you kind of see that fluted block, and Alex is here. He can probably explain it a lot better than I can, all the great acoustical properties of how it diffuses sound and all that stuff, but it's on both the north and the south wall, so of the auditorium. The band room is going well. The band room has a 23.5-foot ceiling. It's really going to be a spectacular space. Right now, this image is showing them starting to build the storage room wall in the band room. So just a general update on the schedule. I'll roll through it pretty well. So front addition's still on schedule. We're hoping for fall break 2024. That's the green area, to flip that back over to the school. We're about 3 months ahead of schedule on that. The auditorium is brown on the right side of the screen. It's on schedule for January of 2024 still. But the south part of the brown is the band room. And actually, because of our phasing issues, we're taking over, about every space the band ever gets. So we're pushing that ahead to October to try to turn that over 3 months ahead of schedule and let the band get into their room early. Now, some of their back areas, like their storage and their offices, are in the existing auditorium, so those won't be ready, but the room itself will be ready. So that'll give them a space to go, and they won't have to be in the aux gym with some other temporary classrooms playing music while everyone's trying to study. So it'll be helpful. So looking at the schedule for the summer, people are wondering, hey, you guys may be wondering, what are you all doing in the summer? We're out of the building for 8 weeks. What are you doing? So this summer, specifically where we're going into the building is the main and the auxiliary gyms. So we're going in and we're tearing out all the bleachers, and they get replaced with new bleachers in the main and auxiliary gyms. Actually, the demo in the aux gym started this morning. Mr. Dablow gave us that a week early, so that was a great help. And then you get new goals in the main gym, and then the main gym goals get relocated over to the aux gym, and they become the aux gym's goals. So we're starting our phase 2, which is this center area here, kind of like right in here. Okay, and that's where the new boiler room goes, and also the restrooms for the auditorium, and also the cafeteria renovation. So that's all going to kick off this summer. The cafeteria is going to be all renovated, turned back over, and then the new kitchen will open at the start of school next year with a renovated cafeteria. And then we have a ton of major parking lot work out front here. So basically the entire front entrance of the elementary and of the new front entrance of the school all gets renovated, all the driving in and out lanes and everything, and it all gets torn all apart this summer and put back together again. So that's the kind of major scope we have this summer inside the building. And then phase 3 is the final scope of the project. That's going to start in fall of 2024 after we do the big move into the front addition, which we're scheduling for spring break. as I've said before, our main issue is we have to get our switchgear on time. It's still on time right now for August 15th, as far as we know. That's our only critical path tripping point. But other than that, I'm feeling really good about the progress inside the building. So general talk of budget, I think our contingency funds are pretty much intact at this point, where things are going well projected. Now we still have to have phase 3 coming up. So, that's where we get in and renovate a 60-year-old building. So you never know what somebody said, you all have seen home improvement shows. You know how it goes when you start tearing into old walls and stuff. But it's on tact. Everything's going well budget-wise so far. Quality, I think, has been very high. Our scientific testing results have been excellent on our concrete, our grout, our structural steel. So basically, that's just kind of it. But for the update, but I'm available to tour it with you guys anytime you need to, and if you got any questions, let me know. So,
Thank you, Chief.
thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, Jeff. Next up, we have the 2024 and 2029 Silver Creek School Corporation Strategic Plan.
Good evening. Sorry, guys. So over the past maybe 14 months, we've been working on a 5-year strategic plan. And this started with surveying our families. It started with focus groups with our employees. And we had focus groups with employees and focus groups with our students. And then we had focus groups with parents who wanted to be a part of that. This effort over the last year plus was assisted with Dr. Byron Ernest, and he did a great job of conducting our focus groups. And anytime you do this, you want to try to bring in someone who's not an employee here to talk to your employees and talk to your families and talk to your students to hopefully get them to say what's on their mind. So I want to thank everyone who's been a part of this. I think we conducted over 900 points of communication, whether that be through a survey or through face-to-face conversation. So we also had a strategic planning leadership team, which consisted of all school board members and then all the building level administrators, as well as the administrators from my office. So that strategic planning leadership team met probably 6 or 7 times throughout the last year. And we've come up with a 5-year strategic plan. So I'm going to read a little bit of this to you and not read a lot of it to you, but this will be on our website pending the board's approval here this evening. It'll be on our website at some point this week. I'll also have hard copies of it if anybody wants a hard copy. But our new vision is preparing all dragons for tomorrow. Our mission statement is Silver Creek School Corporation will operate with integrity, providing a safe, welcoming, and inclusive culture for our Dragon family. Through our dedication to academic excellence, we empower everyone to achieve their highest potential. As stewards for our stakeholders and community, we commit to acting with transparency and accountability. Our 4 core values are to be collaborative, consistent, innovative, and intentional. And our 5 strategic pillars are academic excellence, culture, safety, communications, and strategic planning. What I will not read to you is underneath each of those pillars. So for academic excellence, we have 3 points of emphasis. Under culture, we have 3 points. Under safety, we have 3. Under communication, 1. In strategic planning, we have 2. So we will use this strategic plan to guide us as we move forward. My cabinet, my administrative team, we will meet regularly, monthly, and see where we are on implementing this and measuring our areas of growth and our successes. And we'll also provide periodic updates at the board meetings. Any questions from the board?
No, I would just like to say I really appreciate the process and bringing in the outside consultant. I feel like that was very effective in getting a 5-year plan that is solid and that can see us through the future. So,
Great. And just to reiterate, the strategic planning team, they literally took responses from everyone and poured through them and tried to settle on common themes that we recognized in that feedback. So thank you
Might as well get
to
up,
all of our stakeholders.
Dr. Briggs, would you like to continue with the next item, the ambassador
Yes, I will.
program?
Yes.
Perfect. Allow me to move.
You could have said just stay there.
Alex, can I get a traveling mic?
Well, okay, so onward here. So also on tonight's agenda, which maybe I didn't preface that with our strategic plan, but on tonight's agenda, I'm asking the board to approve a new program called the Dragons Ambassador Program. And it has two main goals, two main functions with it. One is engaging our community members, and two, developing an understanding of how Silver Creek School Corporation functions. The Dragons Ambassador Program, if approved, Alex, you can go on, or Todd, thank you. If approved, will be 24-25 school year will be the first cohort. It will consist of 6 sessions offering a behind-the-scenes look at a variety of operations associated with our district. Our sessions will meet monthly on those 6 months listed from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. The topics that we will cover, session 1 will be a district overview, including school finance and school board functions. Second session, school safety and health services. Third meeting, transportation and facilities. Fourth meeting, our participants get to shadow a principal. The fifth meeting is curriculum and student populations, including special education, English learners, and high ability. And the sixth session is food service, technology, and human resources. Hopefully you're asking who's eligible to participate. Parents and guardians of any Silver Creek School Corporation student, as well as any Silver Creek School Corporation community member. If you're a taxpayer in our district, this program's for you. Participants, we do ask you to commit and do a few things. One, you need to fill out an application, which this will be available pending approval tonight, later on this week, and I will notify our families of that. We hope to select anywhere from 12 to 15 individuals to participate in cohort 1. You also must submit and pass a background check, because we will be taking you throughout our schools and within our outside in our facilities, showing you around, and also you have to sign a classroom observation agreement. So again, just to reiterate, our goal here is to engage you as a community member, kind of give you a 10,000-foot view as to what it is we do in our school corporation and how we do things. We want you to develop an understanding of how things function, so that you can advocate for our students. And I think this last sentence sums it up. Participants will be better able to support our employees and the success of our students, because all of us have the same goal, making our schools the best they can be for our children. So again, pending approval this evening, I will send out communication to our families. So if you are interested, please fill out the application. We will put a deadline on submitting an application sometime in June. We hope to contact everyone who's going to participate in cohort 1 in July, with our kickoff in August. Questions from the board? Okay, great, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Briggs. Any questions for Dr. Briggs on the ambassador program? All right. Next up, we have community input. Right now, we currently only have one signed up, Ms. Joan Mattingly, if you want to go ahead and go to the podium. But if anybody would like to sign up, you can still do so by coming up and signing this piece of paper. Ms. Mattingly, we know you're a pro at this, but just a reminder, Dr. Balmer will be keeping track.
Worked here lately.
All right, you'll have 3 minutes once you start. Thank you.
We, the Silver Creek class of 1965, are honored to present these 4 signs to be hung in the newly constructed Silver Creek High School in honor of our 60th graduation and the 100th anniversary of Silver Creek. The first one, the Silver Creek crest, This is a marketing symbol of our school from 1925. It has historical impact. And of course, at the bottom, it has 100 years established for 100 years. Number 2, the Dragon Code of Conduct. These are the 4 basic principles on which our school system was founded upon by our ancestors. It has moral, psychologically, and hopefully behavioral impacts. Number 3, honor and inspire, the one with the orange background. The Silver Creek class of 1965 photo has under it facts about the 3 high schools and their locations. From a farming town to a factory town, we evolved into a modern day technological community. This is demonstrating social impact. And the last one, over to the far right, the power of the dragon. The impact of a dragon exists in many cultures from the Eastern Hemisphere to the Western Hemispheres of the world. On this sign are 3 cultural examples of how the dragon has had impacts in various ways. This shows cultural impact. I passed around folders to all of you people with a speech. I've dedicated the first 2 signs to my grandpa, Tully Daly. The orange one I'm dedicating to my uncle that was a hero in World War II. And the last one, Power of the Dragon, I'm dedicating to my grandpa Keebler that lived over here on St. Joe Road East in a log cabin, which is still standing, by the way. And I want to try to get into the Indiana historical homes after I finish tonight. Okay. One of the most important lessons and inspirations is always have something to look forward to in life. The year 2024 is the year of the dragon, according to Chinese culture, with the event occurring every 7 years. Next year, 2025, salutes the power of the dragon. All 4 signs here have something to do with history. Edmund Burke, English statesman, once said, "Without history, our nation has no past and no future. History is who we are." 5 things were needed to complete these 4 signs and achieve the desired results by our class of 1965. Number 1, aspiration, hope and ambition to achieve something. Number 2, inspiration, a force of influence that gives a person ideas. Aspiration can lead to inspiration. Determination, hard work, not giving up, staying on course until the job at hand is completed. Obstacles must be overcome with problem solving. One of the most important lessons, like I said, is always to have something to look forward to. It is our hope that all 4 of these beautiful signs will leave an impact on Silver Creek student body and the local residents in our surrounding communities. We also hope that those who visit the school will realize how outstanding this school system at Silver Creek really is.
Thank you, Ms. Madden. Would
thank
you, would the class of 1965 that are here, would you guys coming up, taking a picture with us and Dr. Willman and the frames?
Watch your step.
Yeah, just watch your step coming down the stairs. Which one do you want to hold? Which one? Set in front of you like that. All right.
Go ahead, you guys. Everybody in line here. You guys want to put that in front of you and hold that?
Yes, sorry, give me a second here. All right, yes, you're all in frame. 3, 2, 1. Thank you both.
Thank you guys.
All right. Again, thank you, class of 65. I know you guys have been working on this for a while, and much appreciated that that they're here. And for board members, if you didn't know, Ms. Mattingly put a bio of the folks that these are dedicated after in your packet. Next up, we have financial and operations update by Dr. Ballmer.
Yes, good evening. We'll start with our monthly financial report where we take a dive into our education and operation fund, which are our two main funds for our district. Beginning with education, beginning our budget year in '24, we had a beginning balance of $5,133,791.11. Our revenue through April, $8,143,595.08. Expenditures through April, $7,908,770.82, with an ending balance of April, $5,368,615.37. As of April, we were 31.5% spent of our appropriation approved by the DLGF. Max percent at that time would be 33.3. We do want to stay underspent there because we did build in some additional appropriation there just in case we might see an AD increase, things like that. We might need to add staff. And again, expenditures were a little up in April, and that has to do with us making the April processor payment in our education fund as well. Moving on to operations, beginning balance as of in 2024 is $3,538,444.73. Revenue in our operation fund through April, $1,405,690.03. Expenditures through April, $2,443,566.46, with an ending balance in our operation fund, and as of April, $2,500,568.30. We are 28.3% spent as of April, and again, the max would be 33.3. We will see that drastically increase on that appropriation when our buses are actually purchased. So a lot of that appropriation is, or a good chunk of that is to buy those buses. Also, it is completely normal to see expenditures exceed revenue at this point because your main revenue comes in June and December with your property taxes. The main revenue you have to kind of keep you afloat through there is your education to op transfer. Any questions on that before I move on?
No.
All right, some other things going on in the finance. We are converting all our buildings over to software solutions this summer. Just want to thank all our treasurers and Allison, Becky, our whole team for that transition of getting everybody on the same financial management software. That is a big hurdle we wanted to overcome. That's something that we inherited the building, not jiving with central office. Obviously, we always made it work, but getting everybody on the same financial management system will help with our processes, with efficiency, with transparency, a lot of things. So we're looking forward to that. And definitely just want to thank everybody in the business office for all their hard work with wrapping up the school year. There's a lot of loose ends that we have to as we're wrapping up, but also to prepare. As we know, a lot of people are out of the building, so there's a lot of things we do to go ahead and prep now. Also want to give a shout out to our operation team, facilities, transportation, technology, food service. They did a combined auction and we net gained $23,448 for our district. We used Beckert for that, so it was a very successful auction, so we're very thankful for that. Also, just enjoy seeing all those wonderful kids on the playground. Again, a lot of people in motion on that. And I am thankful for Mr. Shireman, who did give us an update there on our construction. It was great to see his staff come out today. A lot of smiling faces. They were excited to see the progress. And again, it's just going to be awesome to see that come online here in October. That's it for me.
Before we get to consent agenda, just to give everybody an update. Lady Dragon softball team is up 11-2 in the bottom of the fifth, 6 outs away from a regional championship.
Very nice.
Yay. That's awesome.
All right, Dr. Briggs, consent agenda.
Okay, under consent agenda, we have under letter A, finances, numbers 1 through 4. Under number 4, numbers 1 through 3. Under letter B, grants, we have number 1. Under letter C, personnel, 1, certified appointments, letters A through I. Number 2, resignations, A and B. Number 2, classified appointments, A through K. Under number 2, resignations, letter A. Under 3, positions, letters A through D. And under D, other, we have numbers 1 through 9. And that's it for consent agenda.
All right, here in the consent agenda, do we have a motion to bring that to the floor?
I so move.
Ms. Bright makes a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Basham, second. Any discussion or,
The only thing not really discussion, I just want to make a comment that I really appreciate the work that went into the nicotine cessation program. I think that's a really good way to target those that, may be found vaping. But other than that, no, that's all I have to say.
Great, thank you.
all right, any other comments, questions? Hearing none, all of those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion passes 5-0. Actually, Dr. Briggs, also for the record, I'd like to go on record that Mr. Groen did join the meeting at 6:46 PM. So now we have 5 votes instead of 4. All right, next up, discussion action items. Dr. Briggs, you want to go through the first reading of the 3 policies on the agenda?
Yes, we have first reading tonight of 3 policies, our personal communication devices, student attendance, and promotion, placement, and retention. Updates to these all stem from recent General Assembly action where we've needed to make sure that we're compliant with state laws on all 3 of those. And so tonight's first reading, I'll take any feedback starting now through the June, the regular board meeting in June. On June 19th, that'll be the second reading, and I'll ask for approval with any updates at that time.
All right. At this time, we'll go on to discussion action item number 2, which is the request for the approval of the Title I EdFlex grant waiver. Dr. Briggs, do you want to explain that?
Yes, we get a Title I grant every year, and you're allowed to carry over up to 15% of your balance. And this year, we're fairly certain we're going to stay under 15%, but there is a chance that we could go over and need to carry over more than 15%. And you cannot do that unless you apply for the EdFlex waiver. And so that's the purpose of this. And being Title I being a federal grant, it does require public comment. So we have on here at this time, if anyone would like to get.
Yeah, I'd like to open it up for public comment on the Title I EdFlex waiver. Closing public comment. It's time that we have a motion to bring this to the floor.
Awesome.
Mr. Groen, Ms. Franklin, would you like to second? Franklin seconds. Any comments or discussion? Hearing none, all of those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries 5-0. Next up, we have the Calhoun change order number 9. Dr. Balmer, do you want to go through that?
Sure, yeah. So this change order consists of 11 different items, 1 being a credit, the other 10 being an additional cost. And again, this is why you budget in contingency as you go through construction projects. There's just going to be unknowns, things you need to change, modify that you don't foresee. So the total cost that will come out of our contingency funds is $122,936.30 for the Calhoun change order number 9.
At this time, do we have a motion to bring Calhoun change order number 9 to the floor?
Also move.
Mr. Groen makes a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Basham seconds. Any discussion? Hearing none, all of those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Next up, Dr. Balmer, the EH change order number 4.
Yes, and the Calhoun, again, that's our larger main addition high school going on with the renovations and stuff. So that was the change order number 9. This one is EH change order number 4. This has to do with our auditorium and band room. And again, this is a total of 6 changes. They are all our cost. The total cost for this change order number 4 would be $74,898.26. And again, we would leverage contingency funds to cover that cost.
All right, this time do we have a motion to bring change order number 4 for E&H to the floor?
I so move.
Ms. Bright makes a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Franklin seconds. Any questions or discussion?
I'd just like to say to the public when we do these that you have, Dr. Balmer, sent us detailed information on them and allowed us to look at them prior. So we're not just voting aimlessly on this. So that's all I
Everything's in
wanted
the
to say.
board packet.
Yeah.
Any other questions, comments, or discussion?
Nope.
Hearing none, all of those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Sub number 4 is the 2024 to 2029 strategic plan. For those that, as Dr. Briggs presented earlier, it's a plan that we as a board felt very passionate about when the Silver Creek School Corporation took effect in July of 2020. We pretty much just rolled over the mission statement and the core values from Wes Clark. So we thought it was very important to form our own identity. And everybody up here was part of that over the last 13 months. So at this time, do we have a motion to bring that to the floor? Ms. Franklin makes a motion. Mr. Basham, would you like to second?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Basham seconds. Any comments, questions, or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries 5-0. Discussion action item 5 is the Dragons Ambassador Program, which Dr. Briggs also gave a presentation on. Do we have a motion to bring that to the floor?
Also move.
Mr. Grove makes the motion. Do we have a second?
A second.
Ms. Bright seconds. Any questions, comments, or discussion? Hearing none, all of those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries 5-0. Just as a reminder, we moved number 6, the resolution for transferring properties, to number 7, and we've replaced number 6 with the Growing Minds Second Amendment to the lease agreement, which is extending their lease by 1 year. Do we have a motion to bring that to the floor?
I so move.
Ms. Franklin makes the motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Basham seconds. Any questions, comments, or discussion? Hearing none, all of those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries 5-0. Next up, number 7, this is the resolution transferring certain properties with the governmental unit. Dr. Balmer, Dr. Briggs, do you want to go into detail on that?
Sure. So this is beginning the process of transferring some property between us and the town of Sellersburg as we continue to form that partnership with them. We both are looking for opportunities on how we can help one another out. And this was an opportunity that started with some discussion on the Sellersburg Elementary Building or in downtown Sellersburg. And some property that we own, and then some property that is adjacent to our footprint that we are interested in. And so this would begin the process of being able to transfer some property between us and the town of Sellersburg. It is the beginning of the process. There will still be additional steps that need to be taken.
This time, do we have a motion to bring number 7, resolution transferring property from a government entity to the floor?
Also move.
Mr. Grome makes a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Basham seconds. Any questions, comments, or discussions?
Do you want to outline like the process, like what the resolution allows us to do and what that will eventually lead into? Like
Yeah.
as far as like a purchase agreement and
Yeah, sure. So there's a few documents there. One, there is on this property, there would be the actual transfer, which we call a purchase agreement, but again, it's a transfer. So what has to still be done there? More specifics has to get into the parcels, platting things off, all terms agreed on how that's parceled off. Another portion of that is the portion of property that we have over here that's adjacent to us does contain the town pool. So part of that is the town still operating and maintaining that and running the pool. So the language still has to be worked out on all that. There's a lot of language, but again, the parties just need to come and finalize that. Obviously, we'll be getting help with attorneys and making sure everything on both sides that we can come to agreeance on that. Then there's also, obviously, in Sellersburg Elementary, we have the Growing Minds preschool there. So that's what you'll notice the item before this was extending that lease. So if there is a transfer of property, when this goes through, that assignment is actually of that lease is transferred to the town, so they would inherit that lease. And that's kind of the sum of it. Does that answer the question?
Yep.
Any other questions? Hearing none, all of those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Next up, we have our committee reports. Looks like we lost our principals, except for Dr. Wilton. You never gone first.
Well, I actually wasn't going to say anything, but there were a couple of things that happened last week that I'm really excited about, really proud of our students. Thank you, Alex. We have a student athletic leadership conference grant that we got for participation in the IHSA athletic leadership conference there. So that was one thing we have. We had an incoming freshman visit today. Went both at 8 o'clock and at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Went really well. Tomorrow we are doing an education signing. Sort of like we do for athletes, we're doing it for those students going into education. I think I got them all, but we're going to do it in that English hallway and take pictures, put it on social media and stuff like that. That was one of Dr. Briggs's ideas. So we're excited to do that. And then last week we had two events take place on Friday. They were the sophomore field day. That was done completely organized by the sophomore class. They approached me, wanted to do it during Flex, let them do it because they had it so well planned out and I didn't want to tell them no. And the second thing that we had was the Diversity Advisory Cultural Fair. They brought in food from different cultures and had a fantastic time. I was a little bit nervous, didn't know if a lot of the students would follow through. It was an overwhelming success, got a lot of compliments on it. I did virtually nothing for it, just maybe give them the okay and some encouragement. But I'm very, very happy with that. We had a lot of students really compliment that. And then, of course, softball just won the regional championship. They'll play, I believe, on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. Baseball will play this Saturday. We're not sure where, but in the regional, that we're supposed to get that information within the next day or two. Prosser Awards Night is tomorrow at New Albany High School. I think that starts at 6 o'clock. And then we have graduation. It all wraps up then. So a lot of good stuff going on at the high school. Any questions?
Awesome.
Thank you. Don't forget, Friday also is senior prank.
I got something to say about that. So.
Now you're swearing.
Hi, good evening. I have two pieces of information to share. High school teacher Paul Hankins shared information with me about the Amy Krause Rosenthal Foundation grant opportunity several months ago, and I'm thrilled to share that Silver Creek is a recipient of 400 copies of Exclamation Mark. Exclamation Mark is an exciting tale of an exclamation mark that learns the true strength of standing out while discovering his true talent of exclaiming. The text will be received in September and provides us an opportunity to get more books in the hands of our young learners. Additionally, the literacy endorsement requirement shared in Dr. Jenner's weekly updates changed the last couple of weeks. So to just summarize, teachers with a pre-K through 6 license that do not teach literacy in pre-K through 5 now have flexibility in meeting the endorsement requirements. So teachers that are not teaching pre-K through 5 literacy can decide upon renewal to just sign a written assurance form saying that they will not be teaching literacy in those grades. And then if that would change for the teacher, then they would need to get the literacy endorsement if their placement would change after that point. Additionally, flexible asynchronous training is being offered now through Keys of Literacy. I did send an email out to teachers last week with this update and then also updated the literacy endorsement presentation that is located on our district website. Do you have any questions for me?
I know you had said you were putting together the bits and pieces of the hours the teachers had already done. How is that looking? Where are we at with that?
Yeah, so I did send a survey out to teachers and gave them until the end of last week to get that information to me. And basically, I sent an email out to all of the teachers in the district that I believe would need the endorsement and those that would not, just to confirm that information with them. But I will say that in the process of that happening, there was the overlap with the new information being released. So now my next step is then to reach out to the teachers who no longer would be required to let them know, then give them that option, like that direct communication with them to know that they no longer have to have that endorsement if they don't need to. Then as far as the teachers that will be required, but then have some of the trainings already, this Keys to Literacy has changed a lot. Now all the way down to them only having to take 15 hours. So I am still going to help our teachers kind of piece that information together.
Okay. Thanks for your due diligence with that.
Yes, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Waters?
Touch it. Okay. All right, thank you for approving the contract with Encompassing Education. This will allow us to provide professional development to our 6th through 12th grade math teachers on the first waiver day in August. We're pretty excited about that. Thank you for approving the MOU with Pop the Culture and Our Place. We believe this partnership will aid in preventative measures to educate students on life skills as well as the dangers of vaping. Thank you for also approving the vaping cessation plan for 2024 to 2025 that our nurses in each building will be helping with. I want to give a big shout out to our school nurses. We've got Brandy LaRocco at the primary, Amber Harrison at the elementary, Amy Cunningham at the middle, and Jerry Schweinhart at the high school. I was able to visit all of them today to see them in their element interacting with our students. They take great pride in what they do with the leadership of Casey Drain. We are truly blessed in having a very strong health services department. They go above and beyond to keep our students healthy and safe, and for that, I just wanted to publicly thank them because they will be helping with that cessation program at the middle and the high school. They do want me to remind parents to please pick up your students' medication by the end of the day on Thursday. All medications not picked up will be appropriately discarded. The IDOE requires annual reports for vision and hearing data. Our data for all schools has been successfully submitted. Do you have any questions?
Not for me.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Hayhafer, do you have anything? Dr. Briggs?
Yes, congratulations to our robotics team again, and thank them for coming out tonight. Congratulations to Andrea and Stacy on their publishing of their first book. Mr. Poole, thank you, and Shireman Construction, thank you for the update. Much appreciated. Thanks to the board for everything you approved here tonight. Approved a lot of things on tonight's agenda, and then I just wish everyone a great end to the school year and graduation this Sunday at 2 p.m. In the gym, and also will be live streamed, and that access to that link is on our corporation website. That's it. Thank you.
Dr. Ballmer?
Yeah, thanks again for the robotics teams, the coaches, community. I know we had a high school here last time, so I mean, they were awesome. So I can't imagine as you see these robotics teams develop how much better it's going to get. It's pretty exciting. But again, thanks to everybody. Mr. Poole, thank you for coming to speak about facilities and all the wonderful things going on. I know you do a lot behind the scenes that people have no idea every day how hard you work in your team, but you do an amazing job with our facilities. I'm very impressed with your leadership over the last couple years. And while Ms. Hayhafer's in here, thank you. That parking lot's looking great out there. I know that was your master creation. It's turned out very well when it was serviced well. And in that change order, there was a lot of parking changes that Ms. Hayhafer spent a lot of time looking through that needed to be modified to make sure it worked with our flow, saved us over 50-something parking spaces. Again, just attention to detail. Thank you for doing that and all the things you do in your team. Jeff, team, thank you for coming out today. Definitely want to congratulate the authors that showed up. Better do that one. And then it sounds like an early congratulations to the softball team, but excited about their victory. And also just wish everybody a wonderful and relaxing summer. You do so much for our kids and you deserve it.
Ms. Bright?
Don't have a lot to say other than, like Dr. Briggs said, there was a lot in this agenda tonight. So I won't go back over everything, but I just really appreciate the recognitions and presentations that we had. And as we go into the summer, I hope everyone has a relaxing and recharging summer, and safe one.
Mr. Basham?
I'd like to thank all of our building heads and all of our staff. Everybody at the SC Corporation has worked hard this year. We've had another successful year, and I look for greater things to come.
Ms. Franklin?
Ditto to what everybody else has said. Don't need to repeat it. Everybody's doing a great job.
Mr. Grohl?
I'm the same way with Ms. Franklin. I'm the same way. But thank you, everybody.
Yeah. Same, everybody that came out tonight, class of 1965, thank you for your donation. Kyle, thanks for a better understanding of everything the facilities department does. Ms. Ballmer, Ms. Anderson, and our robotics team that was here tonight, we really appreciate it. Students, staff, teachers, admin, enjoy your summer. Well-deserved. And to the class of 2024, unfortunately, I will not be able to be at graduation this year. But I thank you for being a great class of students and, much success in your future. So, next upcoming meetings will be June the 6th, It's a Thursday. It's a special school board meeting here at Silver Creek Elementary at 6 p.m. And then June 6th, we're also having a work session following that special meeting. And then our next regular scheduled school board meeting is going to be June 19th. It is on a Wednesday. We rescheduled due to a scheduling conflict with a couple board members. We'll be here at Silver Creek Elementary School at 6:30. At this time, we'll motion for adjournment. Do we have that motion?
So moved.
Ms. Bright makes a motion. Do we have a second? Mr. Basham seconds. All of those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Adjournment at 7:40 p.m.
All right.